Hi everyone, this is Esther with Neshama Soul Therapy, and today I want to talk with you. This is something really important. It's something that I've seen in a lot of therapy cases, and also friends of mine have done similar things. And I want to talk about this idea of dating out of a desperation and looking at a situation objectively. I know this is really taboo, and this is a subject that not so many people want to really talk about or delve in. But the idea here is, are you really dating with mindful intentions? And I think I did another podcast about that before with how you can date positively and look at every red flag, every orange flag, every flag there is on the planet and see if that person is right for you. But are you dating with the intention of I want to date to have a successful, meaningful relationship, or I'm dating out of desperation and refusing to see the red flags that are really blatant. I want to use a close friend of mine as an example. She is, a little bit older and she has two children. She is divorced and comes from a situation where she had dated someone that really wasn't a good match for her. And walked away from that situation after being abused for a really long time. After that situation, she dated another person with very unhealthy habits, not prioritizing her, not making an effort, being inconsistent, and poor emotional regulation skills, poor communication skills. Fast forward to today, and now she's dating someone else. Now she's taking a different approach, which is something that I have been constantly telling her would be a little bit better for her. This approach would be watching what the person is doing and seeing if there's a little bit of consistency. And before you engage in any sexual intimacy, there has to be some transparency. If the person has any STDs or medical problems, can you be transparent about those blood work, about those medical records? And yes, it's taboo to talk about your sexual history in your past, but honestly, you don't want to get in bed with someone that may have a disease and give it to you, right? We're just adults, and that's what adults do. So being that if you're dating with consciousness and mindfulness, you don't want to be in a situation where you're going to date someone and it's going to be very unhealthy for you down the road. So she's dating a person that the first date, they had very little to no effort invested in planning an event or a date where he would make an effort to show her that he was sincere and interested, which is fine. Sometimes you're just getting to know each other the first date. You want to kind of just see if there's chemistry. The second date, the person was telling her that he is interested. He took her out to dinner, very nice about it. But she started to get to know the person and see the red flags. This person is much older than her. Obviously not a problem, but when it comes to medical patterns, behaviors, and habits that don't lead to being healthy long-term or successful in your health, that is a little bit of a concern. This person also has their mother living with him. This person is also taking on two additional family members to live in their household. Not to mention the fact that they have two cars and a house, and they're taking care of all of this. And there's really little time or effort or energy he can provide for my friend. All of this is already witnessed in the second date. In between the second date, he makes plans with her, and he again makes very little effort and tells her he wants her to come over her house. And she comes over and says, okay. He made the effort of making her dinner, which was fantastic. Everybody loves a man that can cook, right? But behind that, he has the mother living in his household, that he's going to take on a sister and an auntie, and it's getting complicated quickly. The man was married once before, there are no children, and he has told my friend now that he is not over that previous marriage, that he didn't go to therapy to really process, and that it's been a very short amount of time from that marriage to her that he let properly heal. And each time that he's with her, he makes conscientious efforts to show her that he wants to bet her. Now, my friend is lonely and she wants a relationship. So then I have to ask, are you dating with your eyes wide open? Or are you dating with this understanding that you're lonely? And now loneliness can give way really quickly to desperation. And here's why. When we're desperate, we are not looking at if a person has the time for us, can make the time for us, has the emotional capacity to be with us, can invest some of his time and energy into what it takes to have a healthy long-term relationship. Does that person then share the same belief systems and values and what it takes to be in a successful relationship? Are you dating because you just miss a person's company, miss being with somebody, or are you dating because you want longevity in a relationship? So this is where I ask you, do you want to date for the right reasons, or are you dating for desperation? Because when we date for desperation, what that can look like is that we ignore whether they are a person who has severe medical issues and they may not last a long time. That's just the basic, if and ands. Does that person have healthy habits? Do they go to the gym? Do they eat healthy? Are they a smoker? Are they alcoholic? Do they take drugs? Do they have their whole family and the country living with them? I mean, come on. Yeah, I'm going a little bit on a tangent. But these things kind of are addressed in the very beginning, in the first month when you're dating. And the reason why is because you want to go at it from a healthier perspective. When we're dating out of desperation, we really don't look at those things. We just want to be in that person's company. And what happens is we jump into very unhealthy and toxic relationships that are going to lead us to feeling miserable down the road. And half of the time, my clients that come to me tell me, oh, I should have seen it. I should have known better. I saw the signs, but I ignored them, which brings me to my current podcast. Are you dating out of desperation or for the right reasons? I have to reiterate this because when we date out of desperation, we're not giving ourselves emotional healing time to really spend time with ourselves and nurture our hobbies, our emotional well-being, our physical well-being, and heal. When we separate from a relationship that doesn't work out, that takes a toll on the body and on the mind and on the spirit. And in order to move forward in a healthy way, you have to be ready for it. That can also mean knowing if that person is right for you. The only way you can do that is to go on at least a few dates where the date doesn't pass a few days and there's another one and you get to really know each other and take the time. Oh, are they too religious for me? Are they not religious enough? Are they too lax when it comes to watching how they eat if they have blood pressure issues? Are they not in the gym enough? Do they work out too much? Because that's a sign of mental health too. Sometimes when people are in the gym for 3 or 4 hours a day, that if they're not an Olympic winner, there's a question mark there. All of these things can be looked at right in the beginning and not overlooked when you're not dating out of a desperate feeling that I will never find someone because I'm too old, or I'm too fat, or I have 2 kids or 3 kids, or whatever, how many kids you have. There is a right pair of shoes for the right person who wears them. And oftentimes, when we appreciate that we have value to give to whatever relationship, you're going to find the right person for you. Take the time to be by yourself, take the time to heal, take the time to date with purpose. This is Esther at Neshama Soul Therapy. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. I always love sharing my feedback and things that I hear from my clients along the way and personal friends. Love to talk to you guys always. Take care. All the best. Oh, yeah, and happy holidays.